Ladies, gentlemen, and tarnished of all ages, with the release of Shadow of the Erdtree, Elden Ring's new massive DLC, one of the main additions in a lot of players' eyes is a whole collection of 8 new types of weapons, with movesets completely unique to the other weapon types that already existed in the base game. Among these, possibly one of the most exciting is light greatswords, and in my personal experience trying out all the new weapon types, this is also easily one of the best of them. So today let's talk about the moveset of this weapon type in general from top to bottom, and then I'll show you where the first basic one is that you can find, as well as a really solid Ash of War that you can use with it, and then we'll also talk about a special version of a light greatsword that requires you to have killed a specific boss as well, and of course I will label and warn before any proper spoilers of course. First things first then, let's talk about the moveset. One-handed light attack combo starts with a forward thrust, then a diagonal slash from top to bottom, a diagonal slash from bottom to top, a spinning slash, and then finally a 2-slash combo for the finisher. For your heavy attacks, it is a 2-hit combo, followed by another 2-hit combo. The backstep attack is a thrust, roll attack is a slash, sprint light attack is a slash, sprint heavy is a slash followed by a thrust, and the jumping light and heavy attack pretty much match the first attack of the grounded combos as well. Two-handed light attack combo starts with a thrust, then you do a diagonal slice from top to bottom, a diagonal slice from bottom to top, followed by a spinning slash, and then finally a diagonal slice from bottom to top with a thrust as well as the combo finisher, with those last 2 attacks being from a single input similar to the one-handed moveset. For heavy attacks, it is pretty much the same as one-handed, just a couple of 2-hit combos. Backstep attack is a diagonal slice bottom to top, roll attack is the same, sprint light attack is a forward thrust, great for catching enemies from distance, and then sprint heavy attack is a double slash. Jump light and heavy attack are pretty much identical to the grounded combo for two-handed as well. Finally then we have the power stance moveset. This starts with a double thrust, then a double diagonal slash, followed by a double spinning slash, then a pair of diagonal slashes back to back from the final input. The backstep attack is a double diagonal slice, the roll attack is a double spinning slash, the sprint attack is a diagonal slice and then a thrust, and then the jump attack is 2 slashes back to back. All in all, the moveset has a ton of forward momentum all the way through it, a lot of range on the actual attacks as a result of that, and of course the bigness of the swords, and for the damage and the range, the actual speed of these attacks is fantastic too. There's a lot of synergy that you can do, either going full in on speedy light attacks, or you can even combo synergy into heavy charged attacks and successive hit bonuses, as the charged attacks are multi-hits, and there's just a lot of leeway on how you can actually choose to use these weapons, but pretty much no matter what it is that you choose to do, it's just a very competent base weapon moveset. With that covered then, let's talk about Milady. This is the first light greatsword that you can find, super basic relatively speaking. It is a quality scaling weapon, by default equal strength and dexterity, but you can apply any affinity that you want to make it match the stats that you'd like to have on it. As far as how to actually get this one then, from the starting site of Grace for the DLC, head to the main path and then go north until you have crossed the large bridge and reached the castle front site of Grace. From here, simply walk forward across the bridge in front of you, then head through the path behind it, hug the wall of the building that is on your left, and you will come around to a wooden staircase behind it that goes up the side. Continue along here, and behind a couple of enemies you will see a ladder going up a bit of a tower. Climb this ladder, and at the top you will find a chest that you can open for the sword itself. On top of this weapon is able to have Ashes of War applied to it, but by default it has basic impaling thrust. There is, however, a specific Ash of War early game that can only be applied to light greatswords as a weapon type, which makes it a natural pairing for this weapon, and it's called Wing Stance. What this does is enter a stance where you hold the weapon out sideways, then if you press light attack, you do a 3-slash combo really quickly, or alternatively, pressing heavy attack does a jumping forward thrust gap closer that has really good stagger on it as well. To get the Ash of War, just up the hill from where you got the sword itself, is the Castle Ensis checkpoint site of Grace. If you already have the next Grace through this area, that is where we're going to be going, but for those of you who don't, this is the path that we're going to be using to get there in full so that you don't get lost along the way. From this next site of grace then, you want to head out to the balcony that is in the room, jump off of the right side of it, and then you can follow this path downwards where you will see a tower in front of you on this little cliff. Once you are in the tower, simply walk up the stairs, then you'll find a ladder that you can climb up, and then up top of this there's another ladder that you can climb, so climb that too, and at the top of the tower is the chest containing the Ash of War. Finally then, I promised a special version of a light greatsword that requires a boss to kill. Well, the fun part is, we're actually right beside it already, because the grace that we just got is Castle Lord's Chamber, and just up the stairs from this is a boss room. I absolutely refuse to spoil the boss that is inside though, so for those of you who haven't fought it yet, just know that this is the room that it's in, and know that you can get a really sick light greatsword for doing so, and I'm about to show you everything you need to know about that weapon, so if you don't want to be spoiled on it, click off the video right now. Otherwise, that said, for those who have already done it, or for those coming back now that you have, this weapon is what I'm talking about. It is Rellana's Twinblade, a paired light greatsword that you can get with the Remembrance from the boss, and for those wondering, I should mention that there are Remembrance duplicators in the Realm of Shadows, so don't worry, you can get the second option from this too. That said, let's talk about this weapon specifically. Generally speaking, the moveset perfectly matches what I said earlier, but these weapons are special both because the two swords genuinely function sort of separately, one of them applying magic damage that scales with intelligence, and the other applying fire damage that scales with faith, but both of them also doing physical damage which scales with strength and dexterity. So really, you can sort of choose exactly what you want to dive into fully with this, but the combination of three separate damage types like this, just because of the way that damage scaling works in Elden Ring, makes these weapons just an absolute wrecking ball of damage once you have any reasonable amount of stats for it. On top of that, it of course has a unique weapon skill in Moon and Fire stance. This is a stance like Wind stance as well. Hold the button to enter said stance, and then you can press light attack up to 3 times in a row as a combo to do Rellana's full magic projectile sword slash combo, which is really genuinely quite strong. Or you can press heavy attack to do a spinning flame wheel of explosions. Both of these are good for different purposes, but they also scale with different stats as I mentioned earlier, and that can make building this weapon a little bit complex, but again, like the basic light greatsword, pretty much no matter how you do it, if you use this, it'll be pretty strong. That just about does it for today then everyone, just a nice deep dive into light greatswords as a new weapon type in Shadow of the Erdtree, their full moveset in every way of using them, where to get a nice early one and a nice complementary Ash of War for it, and then just a brief discussion about a very special boss weapon within this new typing. I hope you've all enjoyed this then, and of course, let us know what you think about light greatswords as a new weapon type down in the comments below. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.